I graduated in 2011, which wasn't the best time for commercial real estate. But I was a broke college kid, and every offer to become a broker right away was, hey, you're going to get no draw, no salary, and it's going to take a year to close your first deal.
Hey, Brittany.
Hey, Jared.
We've spoken a lot about the time that you had at BTI and my time at NRI because we found out that we had very similar backgrounds pretty quickly after we were in EXP commercial together.
Yep.
But one thing that I know we have not spoken about very much was your time at Colliers. And I know you had you have a long journey in real estate, or a long career in real estate, even as young as you and me both are.
Right.
But you had a lot of time in the brokerage world even before getting into development. So can you tell me a little bit about that time at Colliers?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started my career at Colliers International, and it was a really wonderful experience and truly gave me the education and background I needed to get to where I am today. I was there for probably almost 8 years. And of course, it's the traditional kind of old school model, which is very different than what you and I do today. But it did give me the education and mentorship. And they really taught me how to do things the right way. But it was also very specialized. I specialized in retail leasing, landlord representation. I was not allowed to do tenant representation at all. And I was unique and rare in the fact that they also let me do land sales as well, but only for retail development. So very narrow pathway forward, but they did give me the best mentor in the world and really handed me a portfolio. At one time I was leasing over 40 shopping centers, which is crazy.
Yeah. And so you mentioned the old school brokerage world and what we're doing now with EXP. What's the difference? Like what's the structure look like at a place like Colliers or any of the more like the older brokerages that have been around for a long time?
Yeah, so the structure was very different than what we're in today at EXP Commercial. I couldn't just start and be a broker or an agent. I had to start as a marketing coordinator for 2 years, and I worked on many different types of teams, so multifamily, industrial, office, retail, land, and I worked my way around those teams to where when I was finally able to join as an agent, or what we call brokers in the commercial real estate industry, they finally sat me down and said, okay, what do you want to focus on? And I really had to decide what I was most passionate about. And to me, that was retail, but I also really was intrigued by land, which who knew would lead to the development side of my career today. And that was unusual. They did allow me to do both. I had a mentor for both retail leasing and a mentor for land. And that was different. Most, they just say you get one option and one pathway forward. And I really negotiated hard to be able to work on both.
And so you started as a marketing coordinator, even though you had your license, right?
Yes.
And so your role and responsibilities was probably not as much like client interaction, I would guess. And you had the opportunity to explore a lot of different paths. Was that a salaried thing or commission based? How does the kind of like corporate structure in the traditional brokerage work?
Yeah, I had just graduated from Florida State University with a degree in real estate. And of course, I wanted to be a broker. That's all I wanted to do. I interviewed with many firms. Of course, I graduated in 2011, which wasn't the best time for commercial real estate. But I was a broke college kid, and every offer to become a broker right away was, hey, you're going to get no draw, no salary, and it's going to take a year to close your first deal. And I don't know about you, but my parents were like, you have to get a job that pays the bills. And so I had to look at options like, luckily Colliers had that option to become a marketing coordinator. It was a salary position, very low salary, and go through the program to where they finally did allow me to graduate and become an agent myself. But yeah, I was not client facing. It was very much just supporting senior brokers, glorified assistant, really. But I worked on some really great marketing materials, helped them underwrite deals, saw the whole process. Was I actively negotiating? No. But I saw the behind the scenes. I was able to go to property tours, kind of shadow, and really decide what I wanted to focus on when I was able to do that myself.